Friday night, 24 hours from now, Villanova Nation will either be celebrating an historic win or looking back on a most memorable season.
Yeah, the countdown to the Final Four is winding down, and we are live in Texas tonight with the latest. And AccuWeather is tracking an eventful weekend. First come blustery storms, then comes a blast of cold.
But the big story on Action News tonight is a mother's message for an accused kidnapper.
You took my child. You took my child.
From the abduction of little Asir at the mall to the emotional exhale after the baby was found unharmed.
I want to give a special thanks to the Upper Marion Township Police Department and everybody on social media that helped me get my baby back.
It has been a tumultuous 24 hours for a Port Richmond mother targeted by a stranger with a troubled past.
And tonight we are not only hearing from that mother, Malika Hunter, we are also learning more about the woman accused of snatching her 7-week-old son from his stroller yesterday evening, and that includes that woman's motive.
Yeah, it's a story she's telling police that hits painfully close to Hunter's home and heart. Action News reporter Dan Cuellar is live at the King of Prussia Mall to explain everything. Dan.
Shari, Malika Hunter, the mother of the child that had been abducted, says she has not been able to sleep since her ordeal. She says she's still in shock about what happened and now fears about taking her children out in public.
That was like one of the worst nights of my life. One of the worst nights.
25-year-old Malika Hunter describing her horrific nightmare at King of Prussia Mall. That's where this woman, 32-year-old Sharia Moore of Tredyffrin Township, is accused of kidnapping her 7-week-old baby, Asir Simmons. And our cameras were there last night when Hunter was reunited with her unharmed son. How's Asir doing?
He's doing great. He's doing great. He's in here with a bunch of family and loving arms, and we just glad to have him back.
Moore, according to court records, told investigators she was trying to fill a void after losing her own baby in February, shortly after birth. She told detectives, "I held him, and all those feelings rushed back. I just wanted my baby. It felt like I was holding my son again. It felt so good. I didn't want to lose that feeling. I was crazy."
For you to come along and take somebody else's child to fill your void, and try to leave me with one is not right. I have a sister that suffered the same loss, but you don't see her out here kidnapping and stealing people's children.
I lost my son, and I was hurt. And what I never wanted to do is put that hurt on somebody else. So for her to use that as an excuse, that's not an excuse.
Malika, who has another young boy, Ahmed, says her children are her world. And while she's deeply grateful to have Asir back, the ordeal has left her deeply scarred.
From this situation, I don't even want to go outside no more. I don't want to take my kids. I just want to keep my kids in the house where they're safe.
You don't trust anyone?
I don't trust no one. Because now I feel as though if I go somewhere, my kids are a target now. I don't want to go nowhere.
Meanwhile, Moore has been charged with kidnapping and related offenses. She was unable to post her $500,000 bail and is now in the custody of the Montgomery County Correctional Facility. We're live here at King of Prussia. Dan Cuellar, Action News at 10 on PHL17.
All right, Dan, thank you. And as Dan just mentioned, the suspect at the center of this abduction is 32-year-old Sharia Moore of Tredyffrin Township. And she's part of a well-connected political family in Pennsylvania. Moore's mom, Renee, is a ranking member of the state's Republican Party and an occasional panelist on 6ABC's public affairs program Inside Story. Well, tonight, Renee released this statement. The Moore family appreciates all who have reached out with prayers and all the positive messages in this difficult time. Our focus is on our daughter's health and wellness. The family said it has no further comment at this time. Well, hundreds of thousands of you saw this picture of Asir and the suspect last night on the Action News Facebook and Twitter feeds. And police have said tips from the public helped lead them to a happy conclusion in this case. So make sure you're getting important, up-to-the-minute, breaking information from Action News all the time. Follow us on Twitter at 6ABC and like us on Facebook.com/6ABC Action News.
We are following breaking news here at 10 o'clock and breaking right now in the city's Tioga Nicetown section. Firefighters have discovered a woman's body inside a home after they battled that blaze. But investigators aren't sure whether she died as a result of the fire or did she die before the fire broke out? This happened in the 1900 block of West Bristol Street. It was brought under control, though, within 25 minutes. As firefighters were sifting through the home, they spotted the body. No word yet on the cause of the fire. Turning now to the AccuWeather forecast, which is looking wet and almost wintry for the first weekend of April. You're looking live at the calm, should we say, before the storm in Center City, as that line of bad weather moves out of the area. But the rain won't stay away for long. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan is in for Adam Joseph tonight. And Cecily, you're tracking what's next at the big board.
That's exactly right, Shari. And we still have two areas of some showers and thunderstorms. One area, just some showers right now, working through Newcastle County and Salem County. And the other is a cluster of some thunderstorms rolling through Burlington County. This is moving very quickly towards the east at about 50 miles per hour. So it's moving right now into Ocean County. And you can see approaching the Garden State Parkway, 5 lightning strikes associated with this. Also some gusty winds and even the potential for small hail as it pushes to the east. And this is all ahead of a cold front. That will come back to haunt us tomorrow. Double scan live showing what's going on. The cold front is pushing off the coast. However, if you look down to the south, you can see a lot of rain across the deep south. That's from another low pressure. And what will happen, that low pressure rides along that front like a train track, and that helps to pull in more moisture during the morning tomorrow. So future tracker showing that we did dry out a little bit overnight, but then at 10 o'clock, that low pressure right offshore. So that means we will have some showers, especially Philadelphia and areas to the south and east. And then there's an Arctic front that rolls through very early on Sunday morning. And this is what has the cold air and the high gusty winds. So looking ahead, the weekend does start wet with some showers, especially the first half of the day tomorrow. And again, especially Philadelphia, areas south and east. Then powerful winds, wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. And coming off a day today, 80 degrees on Sunday, we're looking at wind chills in the 20s and 30s. And this is not the only cold day in the 7-day forecast. Of all the details coming up a little bit later on. Shari?
All right, Cecily, thank you. And for the very latest on the morning rain, be sure to wake up with the Action News Weekend team. Gray Hall and Chris Sowers will be on the air starting at 5:30 tomorrow morning.
A Camden woman was shot and killed tonight, and family members say her son pulled the trigger. It happened about 5:30 in the 1100 block of North 18th Street. The woman was taken to Cooper Medical Center, where she died. Details are still unfolding right now, but no arrests have been made and no word on a possible motive just yet. We'll have a live report with the very latest on this coming up at 10:30. A Camden County man is jailed tonight, charged with killing his own wife right on Route 130. Prosecutors say Quentin Fortune got out of his car in Delran last night and had some kind of altercation with his wife, Cynthia. She was later found dead there, her throat slashed. Fortune is also accused of reaching into a different car with 2 women inside. They managed to speed away. Police found Fortune in a nearby diner, his clothes bloodied. Police are still looking for the women in that other car, hopeful that they can provide some kind of information to police. A 13-year-old is hospitalized right now after he was hit by a police cruiser earlier tonight. It happened just after 5 p.m. at the intersection of Broad Street and Fairmount Avenue. The officer was on his way to assist another officer when the accident happened. The teen was taken to Hahnemann Hospital in stable condition.
May be April 1st, but March Madness is still gripping the Delaware Valley as the Villanova Wildcats prepare to take the stage in the Final Four. The excitement is evident both locally and in the Lone Star State, where diehard members of Nova Nation are ready for that second title. Action News anchor Alicia Vitarelli is live in Houston with more and all the excitement. Alicia.
Yeah, hey guys, no April fooling over here. Nova Nation is ready. We are outside one of the team hotels. I'm not going to tell you which one because all of the Hall of Famers are staying here, some pretty big names. And right now, rehearsals are underway for the national anthem before tip-off tomorrow. And what's really exciting about this is that we were the only news crew there to see it. It's a really special quartet. 4 students, 1 from each of the Final 4 schools.
Our flag was still there.
They are all student athletes from the Final Final Four schools from Villanova University. Junior Carly Crispin representing our Wildcats. She has been singing her entire life and is also a member of the women's basketball team. She says she is living the dream. So you sing and you play basketball, so you're the perfect fit.
I like to think so, but I know that I've been very blessed with the opportunity to play basketball at Villanova as well as the ability to sing, and I'm very happy to combine two of my passions.
And tomorrow, the Wildcats will also have a familiar face with them at game time. Father Rob Hagan, the team priest. The players call him The Rock. A Villanova alum, he's been with the basketball team for 12 years and says there's something really special about this team.
They really are what we like to say, a band of brothers. They really are tight. Off the court, they get along, they kid around, and there's a bond that really, really unites them.
We're all praying for Saturday night. We're all praying for tomorrow night.
Exactly. We obviously we'd like to win. Obviously, everybody wants to win. We just want to see them do their best.
Yeah. That's absolutely right. We are praying, we are cheering, and guys, just to give you an idea of what it feels like to be in Houston right now, there are Wildcats everywhere. I graduated from Villanova University back in 1999, and it's almost been like a college reunion for me here. I even ran into my next door neighbor from my freshman year dorm and her family. It's just incredible. People from all different years meeting up. The players are around town. It's just a really special moment. We can't wait to bring you all the highlights, and of course, the big win, right? Tomorrow night.
That's right. Predict it.
Alicia Vittorelli. Back to you guys.
All right, Alicia, it's a great reason to be in Houston, Texas for this game. Of course, we'll go back to Houston in the next half hour to hear how Villanova is preparing for its matchup with Oklahoma. Sports anchor Jeff Skversky talked to players, parents, and, of course, head coach Jay Wright. And remember to stay with Action News throughout the big games. Jeff and Alicia's live reports from Texas will continue throughout the weekend.
And still ahead here on a Friday night, runaway ship, a 150-foot sightseeing boat slams into a pier in California. Why passengers are banned from boarding it in the future.
And the CIA accidentally leaves explosives on a school bus. How it happened and how long that material was riding around with children.
Modern Family, weeknights at 7:30 and 11.
There you have it. The very moment a whale-watching boat slammed into a pier in San Diego, California. Officials think the propulsion system on that ship malfunctioned, rendering it unable to stop. 7 people aboard the ship, ironically named the Hornblower, were hurt. But none of the injuries were serious. Because this was the 3rd time in 18 months the tourist vessel has had a mishap with the engine, it's been banned indefinitely from taking on passengers.
The Virginia State Trooper gunned down at a Greyhound bus station is being remembered tonight. Chad Dermeyer's patrol car is now a memorial with flowers to remember him by. Dermeyer was in a training exercise yesterday when he was approached by this man, James Brown III of Illinois. Police say Brown pulled a pistol and shot Trooper Dermeyer in close range. Investigators say Brown has a long criminal background and say he had a large amount of ammunition with him. Brown was shot by other troopers but survived. Trooper Dermeyer leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Also in Virginia, a school there, officials in Loudoun County notified parents that explosive material had been found on a school bus. Officials say it had been left there mistakenly last week by the CIA, which was performing a training exercise while students were on spring break. Well, students had been riding the bus for 2 days before it was discovered, but the federal agency says the explosive material did not pose a danger to the students.
Still a lot of questions.
A lot of concern
there.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So turning once again to AccuWeather, we hit near record high temperature today, but come Sunday, you might be turning the heat back on in your house.
I know I will be. Cecily signing live tonight with the late word on the wild weekend, Cecily.
It's unbelievable. It's going to feel about 50 degrees colder on Sunday than it did today. Part of the reason why we've got the first of 2 cold fronts moving through. Double scan live showing that most of our shower and thunderstorm activity has really cleared out, but we still have this one cell working over the Garden State Parkway, heading towards LBI. And if you live out there, you're hearing the rumbles of thunder right now. 4 lightning strike with this. Also, some gusty winds, even some small hail. So Harvey Cedars, Loveladies, and Barnegat Light, you will be dealing with this thunderstorm. And then that front will come back to haunt us tomorrow with some showers. Cooler air is on the way, but today felt like summer. Philadelphia 80, Reading 81 degrees. Both those cities only 1 degree shy of the record high for the date. Trenton and Wilmington, not much cooler, 78 degrees. Seattle City, get the wind off the ocean. A little bit cooler there with a high of 67 degrees. Right now, it's still very mild. Philadelphia 69, Allentown 67, Trenton 65, Dover 72 degrees, and Cape May 65 degrees. The real heart of the cold air won't be arriving until Sunday, but we do have some rain that'll be moving in tomorrow. Satellite 6, along with Action Radar, showing the front has now moved off coast. However, there's another low pressure that'll ride along that. So what that will do, it'll help push that front to the west. It's called retrograding, and that'll bring some showers in. So 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, temperatures in the 50s, and we will have some showers around. The bulk of them will be south and east of Philadelphia. It continues around lunchtime, and then as we head through the afternoon, it'll dry out from the west to the east. Some peaks of sunshine around 4:30, but then a second front rolls through, and this is the one that has the high winds and the cold air. So it does roll through really in the middle of the night. Around 1 o'clock, future tracker showing a round of rain, some snow in the Lehigh Valley and the Poconos. Poconos could get a coating of snow, and what this will do, it'll tap into winds higher in the atmosphere. The low-level jet pull them down to the surface, so a high wind watch has been posted. Midnight Saturday through noon on Sunday, we're looking at wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. Could be strong enough to cause some power outages, and it certainly will bring back a taste of winter. Future tracker showing the wind chill Sunday morning. If you're going to be running the Caesar Rodney Half Marathon in Wilmington with Adam and me, well, look at this. The wind chills in the 20s, and we've got some more cold air on the way. All details on that coming up in the full AccuWeather 7-day forecast, guys.
All right, a wild weekend ahead, as you say, Cecily. Thank you. And still ahead, Villanova tips off in less than 24 hours in Houston.
Yeah, we're going to talk to members of the team coming up next in sports.
It is a long but fun night for students at Cardinal O'Hara High School. Dance around because the school hosted its second annual mini-thon tonight. These students will be on their feet dancing the night away until 1 a.m. The event benefits the 4 Diamonds Fund, which helps support young people who are battling cancer.
Such a great cause, but it looks like they're having a blast.
Yeah, good time.
You know, it's been a long wait, long enough to get the hype at an all-time high. Villanova, remember this, last played on Saturday.
I know, we've been waiting. So the Cats will finally play their Final Four game against Oklahoma tomorrow. Deuces Rogers, live in the Action News Sports Center now. Hey, Deuces.
Hey there, guys. It's been a long wait in general. 7 years since Villanova found itself here in the Final Four. Game day is almost here. Both Villanova and Oklahoma got in their last practices this afternoon. Tomorrow, the Cats will not only have to deal with the Sooners, they will have to deal with the nerves that come with playing on the big stage.
We all know it's going to be packed, but we have to try to keep it like another game and just try to keep that mentality of business-like. But we know that these last couple of days with all the media and every video hype video that we've had to do has been pretty surreal. So it's tough to stay focused, but we're trying to stay as much as possible to plan.
To the ice, Ray Emery just can't get enough. He is joining the Flyers for the 3rd time. Emery is signed for the remainder of this season. He had been playing in Europe. This is good news because the Flyers are thin at goalie with Michael Nurgert out. The Flyers will host Ottawa tomorrow afternoon. Ahead next half hour, the Phillies look good again in an exhibition game. Stick around. More news coming up right after this.
Not just helping people find love, now it's helping people find a job they love.
Plus, it's warm now, but there's cold weather coming, and New Jersey peach farmers are worried about what that's going to mean for their crops. I'm Nora Mushanek in Gloucester County. I'll have that story coming up.
Also ahead, you're going to meet a 108-year-old Action News viewer who is getting ready to celebrate another birthday. She's quite a woman, and she's not afraid to try new things. Find out what she took up in the last year.
Action News at 10:30 on PHL17 continues with Deuces Rogers. meteorologist Adam Joseph, Shari Williams, and Brian Tabb.
Ghosts over there at the desk, but here we are. Hello again. Here's a recap of the big stories we're following tonight on Action News at 10.
The woman accused of kidnapping a 7-week-old baby from the King of Prussia Mall is being held on $500,000 bail tonight. Police say 32-year-old Sharia Moore followed the victim's family throughout the mall and even sat at the same table in the food court. When the child began to fuss, Moore offered to hold the baby, but the mother initially said no. The mom turned her back for a second, and Moore then ran off with the baby. The child was found safely several hours later.
A Somerdale, New Jersey man is accused of slashing his wife's throat. Police responded to a crash near Route 130 last night. Officers found 54-year-old Cynthia Fortune on the ground next to the driver's side of a Chevy Cruze, bleeding. Well, she later died at the hospital. Police say her husband, 37-year-old Quentin Fortune, was found at a nearby diner covered in blood. His bail is set at $300,000.
And a 13-year-old boy is recovering tonight after he was hit by a police cruiser in Spring Garden. It was just after 5, and the teen was hit at Broad Street and Fairmount Avenue. Police said the officer was responding to a call when the accident happened. The victim was taken to Hahnemann University Hospital, and his injuries are described as non-life-threatening.
Now to a developing story at 10:30. A Camden mother has died after she was shot.
Family members and witnesses tell Action News it was her own son who pulled the trigger, and tonight he's on the run. The woman was found in the 1100 block of North 18th Street around 5:30 and rushed to Cooper Medical Center where she died. And that's where we find Action News reporter Jeff Chirico tonight. Jeff, have police gotten any leads here?
They have some leads, but we don't believe they have caught him yet. Yet police are being very quiet about this case tonight. A little earlier tonight, I spoke with the victim's daughter off camera. She was obviously distraught. She says she watched her brother shoot their mother and then take off, and she wants him caught. As grieving family members gather at the hospital, police conduct an interstate manhunt for the man who allegedly shot his own mom. It happened just after 5 p.m. on the 1100 block of North 18th Street. It's unclear what led up to the shooting, but neighbor Samir Jackson says he raced outside when he heard a gunshot.
And I saw her running back for a car. So I ran outside. I'm like, what happened? She's like, bitch, you shot my mom.
Neighbors say 38-year-old Iris Sanchez had been shot in the stomach and sat on these steps until paramedics arrived. You see what happened to Pedro?
I didn't see him. He was long gone.
After the shooting, witnesses say 20-year-old Pedro Sanchez, who lives here, drove off, possibly into Philadelphia.
But he was nice, though. He always would speak. I never thought he was that type of person, like to do what he did to his mom. As far as I know, him and his mom has always been on rocky terms.
Larisha Gaines, whose sister has a child with Pedro Sanchez, says she didn't expect the strained relationship would escalate to this.
I just was out here talking to him, and, you know, he was telling me how he wanted to look for a job, how he wanted to find a job, you know, how he wanted to go visit my nephew.
At the hospital, police questioned this woman who claimed to have spoken with the alleged shooter after he fled the scene. Family members are calling on Sanchez to turn himself in before anyone else is hurt.
I'm afraid that by him shooting his mother in the stomach, which the cops feel as though he has a weapon, they might just shoot on sight without asking questions first.
And our repeated calls to the Camden County Prosecutor's Office have not been answered. At this point, we understand that police here in Camden and Philadelphia are looking for the shooter. We're live in Camden. Jeff Chirico for Action News at 10 on PHL 17.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Now to another developing story tonight. Chopper 6 just flew over a fatal accident in Pennsauken. A person was struck by a vehicle on Route 70 near Browning Road. We do not yet know if the striking vehicle stayed on the scene. As soon as we get any details on this, we, of course, will pass them along to you. Right now, we know how a Seacane woman died. The medical examiner says 36-year-old Markia Benson suffered blunt force head and neck injuries complicated by immersion and scalding burns. She was found naked, beaten, and stabbed in her bathtub Wednesday. There were no signs of forced entry. Upper Darby police questioned a person of interest, but so far no formal charges have been filed here.
The deaths of 4 people at a Wilmington apartment complex last Friday have been ruled accidental. The victims were overcome by carbon monoxide. Only Action News was at the Evergreen Apartments this week when buildings F and G were condemned. Officials say the boiler needs to be replaced. Newcastle County Police continue to investigate this. All right, switching gears here. The word is you'll want to crank your heat up this weekend and also keep an umbrella nearby.
Which is stunning to think because we hit almost 80 degrees today.
I know a lot of people are using air conditioning today.
Yeah.
It was 80 degrees, but things are changing dramatically. But now we've got some quiet weather out there. The action cam taking a look over the Ben Franklin Bridge today. And trust me, there you go. This is the calm after we did have some storms rolling through this evening ahead of that cold front. That'll bring us a stepping down in temperatures. Double scan live showing that we've got just a scattering of some light showers right now in parts of Salem County. That one cell I've been tracking moving off the coast of Ocean City has now done just that, taking the lightning with it. And now we've got cooler weather on the way. We've got some high winds on the way as well for the second half of the weekend. Today, though, you like that summer feel. You got it today. Our high up to 80 degrees. Normal high for this time of the year is 59, so we were 21 degrees above normal. We were only 1 degree shy of the record high. The record high, 81, set back in 1978. But back in 1923, we set a record low of 14 degrees, so it can still get very cold in the beginning of April. Right now, temperature is still pretty mild. Philadelphia, 69 degrees. Allentown, 67. Atlantic City, 65. And Dover holding at 72 degrees. Satellite 6, along with action radar, showing the cold front that brought the scattered showers and thunderstorms is going to be just really stalling off the eastern seaboard. And what happens, wave of low pressure will run along it like a train track, and that will bring some more showers in for part of the day tomorrow. So future trackers showing 8 o'clock in the morning. The bulk of the activity will be across South Jersey and Delaware, but anyone could see a shower. They really last into the afternoon hours, early afternoon around lunchtime, and then we get some peaks of sunshine. However, the next cold front is waiting in the wings. That rolls through early in the morning on Sunday around 1 o'clock. Future tracker showing a round of rain, some snow showers, believe it or not, in the Lehigh Valley and the Poconos, and this will really unleash some extremely strong winds. What's happening, we've got that cold front moving through at the same time as the low-level jet right over us. This is where we have the winds about 5,000 feet above the surface, up to about 60 miles per hour. So we can pull those winds down to the surface, and that will bring us some very intense wind gusts for about 12 hours. A high wind watch has been posted for our entire viewing area. Midnight Saturday through noon on Sunday for the potential for wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. So that's going to cause some power outages, bring down some trees, and also you can see the wind chills on Sunday morning in the teens and 20s, feeling like winter. So the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, say goodbye to 80 degrees for a while. Tomorrow's showers, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 62 degrees. Sunday, the high 47, but wind chills will be no better than the 30s with those high gusty winds. Partly sunny skies on Monday. A quick rebound, 65 degrees, but our next cold front brings us a round of rain. Look what happens on Tuesday. Back into the 40s, 45 degrees. Temperatures down to 26 on Tuesday night, so a hard freeze on Wednesday morning. We bump it up to 49 degrees on Wednesday. Thursday, showers and afternoon thunderstorms, 59, and Friday, mostly cloudy with a high of 56 degrees. So the first week of April is going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride. Brian?
Can't believe you said bump it up to 49. All right, Cecily, thank you. Now to the campaign trail tonight. The candidates are setting their sights on Wisconsin right now. A huge contest there as voters head to the polls on Tuesday. Democrat Bernie Sanders told the crowd today that his rival Hillary Clinton owes his campaign an apology. Clinton was confronted by a climate activist in New York last night who asked her if she would reject money from fossil fuel groups. The Democratic frontrunner lashed out, saying Sanders is lying about her. He said her campaign, he says her campaign got more than $4.5 million in the fossil fuel industry. Clinton says she will not apologize and that Sanders is deliberately misleading voters. On the Republican side, both Senator Ted Cruz and John Kasich were campaigning just a few hours away from here in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, near Harrisburg. They spoke at the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference. It was Cruz's first visit to that state. Donald Trump, meanwhile, has not campaigned here. He is focusing on Wisconsin, which, as mentioned, will hold its primary this weekend on the Republican side. Trump will hold 3 town halls, 2 of which Sarah Palin is scheduled to attend. Test results are back on a knife found at O.J. Simpson's former home. Find out if it was the one that killed his wife and her friend.
Republicans are getting an offer, and some will probably refuse it. They can stay at Jeffrey Dahmer's former home during the RNC convention. Find out how much money the owners are asking for that stay.
Yikes.
And next, we've got wild video of a chase through Miami, but it's the end that's really dramatic. We've got the video coming up.
A wild and dangerous high-speed chase through Miami, all played out on camera. It began when an officer spotted the man wanted on felony charges. The suspect refused to stop, and a chase began. At one point, 2 police officers opened fire. The car then crashed into a fence and was cornered. Well, police surrounded the car, their guns drawn, but check it out. The driver put the car in reverse and crashed into a cruiser. The shirtless driver was eventually dragged from the passenger side of that car, swarmed by officers, 2 of whom suffered minor injuries.
A knife found at the former home of O.J. Simpson is not connected to the murders of his wife, Nicole, and her friend, Ron Goldman. The Los Angeles Police Department says it came to the conclusion after a number of forensic tests. The knife was turned over last month by a retired officer. The investigation, however, remains open. How about this? A unique opportunity for Republican National Convention delegates and their families. This summer, they can rent the childhood home of serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. It's available for $8,000 during the RNC. The home is just 30 minutes from Cleveland, and it's believed Dahmer killed his first victim on that property.
And why in the world would anybody want to stay there?
See, we think no one would want to stay there.
Well, it's kind of sick. eHarmony, helping people find more than love now. Now you can find a job you love. We're going to tell you how the new system works.
And next, some New Jersey farmers are worried about the cold weather headed our way, what it could mean for the peach crop.
Tonight's news is brought to you
80-degree and 80-degree weather this week. Things are going to start to cool down. We could even see near freezing temperatures in just a couple of days, and that, of course, is causing concerns for farmers in South Jersey. Norm Yushanik has their story.
It's very nerve-wracking. I wasn't expecting it.
At Heilig Orchards in Mullica Hill, farmer Carl Heilig is worried. The thermometer is expected to dip to freezing or near freezing in the coming days, and that could have a devastating effect on his 300 acres of peach trees.
About 3 weeks ago, we had 3 days in the low 80s, and the peaches woke up, and they just haven't really stopped. The problem is that these peaches are in full bloom, and there's a little pistil inside here, and that's what gets killed by the cold weather.
Heilig Orchards produces about 100,000 half bushels of Jersey peaches every year. Now, if the cold weather damages the buds on the trees, it could wipe out the crop for the entire season.
Oh, it could wipe out the crop, definitely. If it gets down to 25 for an extended period of time, it'll definitely hurt the crop. If all these blossoms get frozen, we're going to be in big trouble. There's not really too much we can do about it.
Last year, Heilig lost 1,000 peach trees to cold weather, which is why he's worried about freezing forecasts.
I check the weather basically every 2 hours during the day to see if that number's changed.
New Jersey ranks 4th nationally in peach production. Obviously, keeping frost from the crops is a major concern in South Jersey, where farmers produce over 100 varieties of the juicy fruit in soil that's ideal for growing peaches. Carl Heilig hopes Mother Nature won't mess with that.
They could be bad or they could be good, but right now it's pretty scary.
In Mullica Hill, I'm Nora Mushanik for Action News at 10 on PHL17.
Online matchmaker eHarmony now wants to help you find the perfect job. Today, the company launched Elevated Careers. People will be matched to employers based on 24 different criteria. Job seekers can expect 5 potential job matches each week.
It is time now for sports once again tonight, and guess what we're talking about?
It has to be Villanova. Deuces Rogers, live at the Action News Big Board. Hey, Deuces.
Hey there, guys. At this point, there's little left to do but play the game. Villanova and Oklahoma have practiced. They've watched countless hours of game film. They have done every interview imaginable. Jeff Skaversky has a preview from Houston.
31 years ago today, Villanova won their 1985 championship, and here they are, back at the Final Four, oh so close to another championship. They are just 2 wins away, and they can taste another title.
The 85 team is so special. Villanova is so magical. I almost, there's a side of me,
I don't want to mess with that, but I'd really like to see it for our guys.
As special as the 1985 team is, this group of Villanova players could go down as the best. These Cats are a win away from the most wins in school history, and in their sight as well, ending the city of Philadelphia's championship drought.
For the city, I think it would be great. I think just our professional teams are unfortunately not doing too hot, and I think that if we could do that, I think that would be bring great pride to the city.
Villanova is shooting for the stars. They're dreaming about cutting down the nets, but first, they have to get by Oklahoma tomorrow to get to their third title game in school history on Monday to even have a shot.
It would be crazy because that's something that you grow up watching. You dream about hearing that one shining moment. You're on the court. You're cutting down the nets. You have the confetti flying on you. You with your brothers. That's something that you definitely want to have a feeling of.
It's the biggest stage in college basketball, but Villanova insists they're not focused on all the hype that surrounds this, the Final Four. They are focused on Oklahoma Saturday and eventually cutting down those nets here in Houston. With the Villanova Wildcats, Jeff Skaversky for Action News at 10 on PHL17.
The Sixers, still stuck on 9 wins, take their act to Charlotte tonight. Pick up the action in the fourth quarter. Kemba Walker is having himself a good night. A 3 to put the Hornets up by 12. Later, Walker again, 27 points and 11 rebounds for him, both game highs. The Sixers lose 191. They are 9-67 on the season. The Flyers need help at goalie. Ray Emery needs a job. The Flyers have signed their former netminder for the remainder of the season. This is his third stint with the team. The Flyers host the Senators in the afternoon. The Phillies were back at Citizens Bank Park tonight. 2 exhibition games before Monday's season opener in Cincinnati. Phils and Orioles, a good showing from Aaron Nola. The young right-hander goes 3 innings. He gives up 1 run while striking out 5. 4th inning, Maikel Franco. The kid swings hard. Look at where this baseball lands. Upper deck, his 9th homer of the spring. 2 batters later, Ryan Howard facing a lefty. You betcha. But the Phillies lose 8-7. Once again, the opener coming up Monday against the Reds in Cincinnati.
All right, lots to look forward to.
Yeah.
Deuces, thanks.
All right, the dads were showing off their moves tonight at the Schuylkill Elementary School in Phoenixville for the dad-daughter dance. The young ladies looking great, right, as they danced the nay-nay. And 2 of our favorite dads were right there with their daughters as well. On the left, Action News Director Tom Davis.
Why is he not dancing?
And next to him, photographer Mike McCloskey. And I know those 2 can dance.
They got moves. We've seen them. Good for you guys. A birthday celebration more than a century in the making took place today in New Jersey. Helen Turner marked her 109th birthday today, surrounded by a room packed full of loved ones at the Brandywine Senior Living Homes in Linwood, New Jersey. Helen was a school teacher in Margate for 38 years. Get this, she started teaching back at a 1-room schoolhouse in Maryland. But her love of education started well before that. When Helen was a little girl, she rode to school by horse and buggy, quite a life. And she keeps on learning. Last year, Helen joined Facebook. It already has more than 1,100 friends, and it's obvious why.
I love being here. I'm happy from morning till night. I'm glad you're here with us.
A happy lady, and from all of us here at Action News, happy birthday, Helen.
Again, forecast in a nutshell. Say goodbye to sunshine and temperatures in the 80s. Tomorrow, showers. Some late breaks of sunshine, 62 degrees. But Sunday, the high only 47, but wind chills will be in the 20s and 30s. And we're talking about wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. So could bring down some trees and power lines. It's going to be a wild weekend of weather.
Okay.
Cecily, thank you. And thank you for joining us tonight for Action News at 10. Modern Family's up next, followed by Friends.
For the entire Action News team, have a great night, great weekend. Go Nova.